Headline bias tracker for January 3rd. Happy New Year still, one and all. Today we're covering Tesla and the Boring Company. We finally have some new news on both, not as much as I might hope. Tesla's banned from driving schools because of new turn signals. Banned? Is it really banned? And that's just a negative headline. It has indicators. Very weird that you would not permit people to use a car that has the legally allowed equipment. Negative. Of course it's negative. Tesla stock falters. Tesla stock drops. Tesla stock falls. I'd like to hear your astrology because that's all it is. It's a juicy headline. You got to drive them clicks, baby. Some legal stuff. Elon repeatedly vetoing. This one's not legal. A $25,000 Tesla comes back to buy. It hasn't. That's not a thing. The Bloomberglers are at it again. Defeats bid. They wanted him. The lawsuit, the wrongful death lawsuit. They wanted Elon personally to testify, and Elon's attorney said that's ridiculous, and the judge agreed. We don't. That's not how that works. Model Y passes Model 3 as best-selling EV in history. Positive. Interestingly, a neutral headline from Reuters. Breaking views, Tesla and BYD rivalry is mostly manufactured. Falls behind China, and no Christmas miracle. We covered those yesterday. Even after a recall, Tesla Autopilot does dumb, dangerous things. 3 days ago, haven't seen it yet. So, yes. I finished driving school and I still do dumb, dangerous things. That's sales rebound after steep price cuts. Do they? Were they steep price cuts? There's no rebounding. Negative. Tesla reports record deliveries, hits goal. CCS charging adapter may not work with Cybertruck. First of all, why on earth would you take a Cybertruck to anything but a supercharger? But yes, you may need to get a different adapter if you wish to use CCS because the shape of the adapter doesn't fit with the wheel arches. Tesla sold vehicles. That's how you do a neutral one. Stocks to watch Wednesday, Tesla, Xerox, and Moderna. Just stocks to watch. No bias. No information. Solar City deal included Powerwall inverter rights. Neutral. Costco partners with key Tesla rival. Nobody cares, but it's still a negative story. Model 3 Highland pre-production underway in the U.S. Here's how many vehicles they sold. That's it. Just how many. Neutral. Tesla's a rare positive from Reuters. Tesla's China-made EV sales jumped 68.7% year over year in December. No demand. EV maker BYD overtakes Tesla sales, has world in sight. True, definitely negative for Tesla. Cybertruck becomes one of the most American-made pickups, but maybe not the most American. Fred correctly points out that it appears the Honda Passport has, the Honda Ridgeline has 10% more American parts, American/Canadian. They lump them together for some reason, as our good friend David, patron and fan of the channel, pointed out to me on X today. Investment bank agrees with Elon on the true driver of Tesla stock. Positive. And I think this is the last one. Surpassing Tesla, BYD will take on the world. BYD struggles outside of China, but they will do well. They are, at this point, I believe, unstoppable. So what does that give us? Tesla bias for today, negative 28, for a trailing 7-day of negative 22. Not that bad. We're right here. Today is not that great, but the trailing is fine. Did I get those right? Yeah, that's right. Yep, not too bad. Not too bad until you compare it to literally any other company we track, with very few exceptions ever. The Boring Company, not a whole lot going on here because there's not a whole lot. There's a few new things. We're going to go through it quick because there's not much new. We may need to switch the Boring Company to monthly because the news isn't all that common. Boring Company shows off Cybertruck in the tunnel. That's exciting. Let's see company shares raised. But again, these are old ones. Let's see if there's anything else new we should discuss. Oh, I know. One new one, environmental consequences. The tunnel under Vegas is the dominating headline. The Vegas Loop one again. Fun. I should be there next week. Hopefully the tunnel is open and I get to check it out. And it's not too busy. Last year they had their one and only traffic jam. Hopefully they have resolved it. This silliness, high-speed transportation firm Hyperloop 1 to shut down. This shows up when you search for The Boring Company, not The Boring Company project. Not related at all. Of course. The org chart, this one has been here every time we've covered it. Boring Company wants to Vegas Loop expansion. What happened to the Boring Company's tunnels pitched for South Florida? This is the only new one. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. Everything else is regurgitated. So what happened to it? This is the South Florida Business Journal, and it's a paywall. You want me to pay you $4 to read this, Ashley? I don't think so. So let's take a look and find out what we're missing by looking at the archive of the story. There's some problems with the story. Multiple cities discuss the possibility of partnering with a Texas-based company to construct underground tunnels. They got so one of them would be a 2.4 to 2.7 mile tunnel, getting people from Fort Lauderdale to the beach and maybe back. It depends. We might just leave them there. It offers reduced costs, less surface disruption during construction and operation, and fewer right-of-way acquisitions, and faster construction time. Faster construction time is unknowable. Surface projects can run into huge delays too. A bus would be the best way. I don't know if you could get people to take a bus. And the North Miami Loop Beach would be a 6-mile tunnel that gets vehicles along stations in this particular corridor. Are tunnels still on the horizon? 3 municipalities have been silent about it. Last June, Fort Lauderdale paid a feasibility study fee so they could look at the logistics and see if it would actually work. However, the city commission suspended efforts to bring it. There are no efforts ongoing. Is that the Boring Company's fault or is it the city's fault? It's an expensive project for limited benefit to not very many people. It's not a commute corridor or anything. And the other place, Miami, said they're still looking into it. Do the tunnels work? So far, few cities have signed on for Boring Company. Now, I think there was something really dumb here. Multiple cities discuss the possibility, which shuttles passengers in Tesla vehicles. So that's part of it. Is this whole thing repeatedly says in Tesla vehicles. Makes it sound like if you have a Tesla, you can just drive down there. That's not what it is. And at some point, they won't be just cars. There'll be something dedicated for it. Other ones also appear on hold. So it's ridiculous. Traffic jams during the 2022 CES. I'm glad I didn't pay $4 for this. It's not worth $4. Journalism used to be a real profession, a trade, a skilled trade. But the problem is anybody who's got the kind of skill it would take to write this article is already doing something more important than writing for the South Florida Business Journal. It's unfortunate. There's not enough money in journalism to get responsible journalists. So those plans appear to be on hold. It did legitimately address the concerns over just the geology. It's limestone. It's porous. Hurricanes, storm surges, high tides alone can inundate infrastructure. The amount of water pumping that would be required to keep these tunnels clear would be significant, not impossible, but one challenge. The limestone itself would prove no challenge. The boring tunnels are very good at working their way through porous rock like that. It's very nice and consistent and does a fine job. So let's take a look at the Boring Tunnel. The Boring Company media bias for the week, positive 32 for a week-over-week change of positive 4. Despite all those headlines. The overwhelming stories were about the expansion in Vegas, giving it an overall positive bent. Boring Company in brown here, dirt, nice and smooth, nice and high. And the yellow line here is SpaceX, another Elon Musk company. Even Neuralink scores well compared to Tesla down here in red. What an exciting week. I'm off to CES, you guys. I will try to keep these going every day. I have equipment with me to make it happen. But my background will not be this. It'll be a different background. So stay tuned, juicy, all that good stuff. Talk to you soon.